Hello everybody, I'm Tasio and this is the week for the 12 Ascendants. Just to tell you in my overview that under this video you will find the timestamps on the different Ascendants so that you can click and have directly your own Ascendant. So just to make an overview what to expect from the week. We have eclipse happening on Tuesday, Wednesday for the different territories. Now I have separate video, very detailed analysis on the eclipse. You can find it on my channel, just a very recent one, like I made it a week ago or so. You may like to give attention to this video as the information could be interesting and also very useful. So the eclipse is happening on the axis of Sidereal, Sagittarius, Gemini, and during this eclipse, it's not only that we're having eclipsed moon, it's a partial lunar eclipse, but it is also so that Saturn is in a very powerful heliacal phase, and with this, he's quite active and quite destructive, and in this very same moment, Mars is invisible with Mercury, so could be that also we have certain issues related to media, to communication, to travel. So it is advisable for all of us when traveling, when negotiating, to plan everything very well, to listen to our intuition, to be very, really very much planning every single activity, because the sky is a bit tense this week, and that is the truth. And also, quite important to say is that Venus is afflicted in this eclipse, and Venus is also in a phase of disappearance, so she's not so helpful. And worldwide, this eclipse is going to have impact on the markets, on the economy, and all this I'm explaining in my separate video on the eclipses, on the eclipse, and also on the previous eclipse, because we cannot look only at one eclipse as a sole event, but we have to look at the eclipses as a chain of events, because they never happen alone. You have always the first one and then the second one, and they are always related, and usually often they happen on the same axis. So it is important to know that during this eclipse, of course, we can be on the safe side by having information, like knowledge is power, be very spiritual, very much connected with the spirit world, receiving the protection from the spirit world. And remember, whatever one eclipse is meaning, and they have been considered as traumatic events in the ancient world. Even if you, in any ancient culture, look at the Indian culture, Babylonian culture, the eclipses were never looked at as some joyful event. It's a darkening of luminary, so they are never positive enough. But they would always recommend actions or rituals for reversing the effects of the eclipses. Sometimes they would say there are no possible remedies to reverse the effects, so this could also be the case, but I certainly believe in the remedies, especially when they're spiritual. Therefore, do not look with any fears towards this eclipse, but just be informed, be careful, plan your life, plan your events cautiously, watch for the detail, and most importantly, listen to your intuition. This eclipse is afflicting the axis of Gemini, Sagittarius, and people who have Gemini, Sagittarius ascendant, Gemini, Sagittarius midheaven, lower meridian, or moon or sun, there will certainly feel afflicted by this eclipse in a way that it's very possible that they feel melancholic, that they have held disharmony, also that they feel that for a certain period of time their luck is a little bit locked. So this is possible, but once you're informed and you introduce measures for reversing the effects of the eclipse, you will be able also to go through this period not in a sad or difficult way. So let's start with Aries, and once again This is really an overview. I will tell you, like usual, how your ascendant, how the sky is going to influence each one of the 12 ascendants, but keep in mind that this is very basic, because everyone's chart is absolutely unique. No one chart resembles other charts. So this is an overview to be helpful for you to understand what to expect from the week. But let me repeat that everyone's chart is unique, and there will be certainly differences when you look separately at the chart. So if you like to have a separate look at your chart reading, you may contact me separately. So, and my details are under this video. So let's start with Aries. Now with you, during this period of time, you your ascendant ruler is invisible, is detriment, it is with Mercury. So it is actually a period of depth, of self-analysis, contemplation, even isolation. It is a period when you may feel that your communication-wise, it may not be the most fruitful period for you, but it will be certainly fruitful. The period will be fruitful for studies, but not for sharing your knowledge. It's like study, receive knowledge, but sharing knowledge may not be negotiation, travel, sharing knowledge. It may not be the most appropriate timing for you. For you, the 9th, 3rd houses axis is being influenced by this eclipse. I see this as quite okay. It's an easy development. It's not a difficult affliction. It can bring you to another level of intuition and consciousness. I don't see it as a bad thing, but I see it as a need not to travel, or at least if you travel, to be careful. If you negotiate, to be careful. You might have some challenges at work, at home, career wise. So there is where you need to be. There is where you need to be cautious and to give attention to be very diplomatic, and also to use your intuition. You may feel a little bit impulsive, you may feel a little bit tempered, but this is natural, having into consideration the heliacophas and the placement of Mars. So use your intuition, stay very spiritual, enhance your level of consciousness, and you will pass through this period very, very easily, actually. Let's look at Taurus. Come on. All right. Now for you, your ascendant ruler in the 2nd house is quite nice, but Venus is afflicted in this eclipse and is afflicted by Saturn. And this is actually, the placement of Venus can be good for the finances, but it's the affliction of Saturn and of the eclipse is a little bit unlucky. So even though you may have impetus to do a lot in your business, to create, could be that you need to invest additional efforts in relation to your money making, to your business. Could be that you have some challenges with siblings, neighbors. Could be that this period is not very, very good in terms of travel and negotiations. Actually, I do not advise you to travel or to do any important negotiations. Now, your private life, your relationships, I don't see any challenges there. The main challenges come with siblings and maybe with finances, and also the finances of the partner. So there is where your attention should go, and also maybe efforts in order to have a successful week. Let's see, said Gemini. Now with you, you have Venus on the ascendant, which is beautiful because Venus is softening a little bit the influences of Saturn, who is powerful in a heliacophas. But the eclipse is happening on your axis, so could be that you need to be very intuitive, cautious in everything that you're doing. In terms of speech, eloquence, sharing knowledge, you may have some challenges. Therefore, negotiation is not the most appropriate thing to do. Travel as well. Be cautious, be responsible for your health. You will receive the support of people, of subordinates at work, so this is fine. Your health is also quite supported, but still be very intuitive and be patient and loving at home with your partner and also in your romantic life. Health-wise, you are supported, but still be responsible for your health. Cancer. Mars, Mercury, both invisible. Mercury in a retrograde phase on your ascendant. Well, you can feel a bit impulsive. You may feel that whatever you say kind of not very successfully reaches the public, or media work or negotiations are not really very supportive this week for you. Therefore, be careful there. Now, health-wise, you may need to be responsible for your health, and you may be so that you may have subordinates which are not very much on your side, whom you do. It's good not to trust. Children and children. Actually, in terms of children, the week is good. That is where the blessing is coming to. But on the other hand, health and subordinates are a bit the weak points in your chart for this week. Now also, you may travel, but be cautious and be very intuitive when you will be traveling. And plan everything very well in advance. Leo, now, even though you receive the beautiful aspect of Venus and the Sun towards your ascendant, and the week may be okay for you financially, be responsible and be very attentive when it comes to children. Career-wise, the week does not look so bad for you. Be a bit cautious with subordinates, like do not trust. Health-wise, is also good to be cautious and responsible for your health. Now, in terms of travel and negotiations also for you, the week does not seem to be the most appropriate, but it's also not that afflicted. So if you decide to travel, you may, but you need to be very, very careful as well. Children, I told you, be very attentive, very careful. The week can lead you to desire of receiving ancient knowledge, creative knowledge, and all this could be the case this week also. Virgo rising. Now your ascendant with Mars retrograde invisible can make you temperamental, impulsive, desiring to speak, but could be that you have issues with eloquence, with sharing knowledge, with negotiations. Possibly you will have some challenges career-wise, and also at home, and also with parents. That is where you need to be very diplomatic and very intuitive, loving to your parents, and patient and diplomatic and intuitive at work when it comes to superiors. Travel, you may carefully, using your intuition. You may sharing knowledge, negotiating. I would wait for another week. The sky is quite tense right now. Health-wise, also be responsible. Also, you like maintain healthy lifestyle. It's quite important. Libra rising. Now for you, Venus is in a very nice position, aspecting your ascendant and the Sun. They give true blessing, possible good financial opportunities together with Jupiter on the second house. The week does not look bad for you at all, but you may have some hostilities at work, career-wise, related to your plans. Also, this week is not very appropriate to negotiate and to travel, but still you will be quite blessed in terms of knowledge, in terms of like whatever, when you seek knowledge, you will receive it easy, but be careful when you travel, and be very patient with siblings, with brothers, sisters, and very diplomatic and careful when it comes to career and to superiors, because there you may have some hostilities, disharmonies, and tension. And even if you would have desire to have new plans, new projects, I would say wait a while, because the week is very, very complex, you know. Scorpio. Now, for you, still, of course, we know Jupiter is still on the ascendant retrograde, but still Jupiter on the ascendant in Jupiterian term is a true blessing, so this is very nice. But your ascendant ruler is invisible, which can make you temperamental, impulsive, nervous, a bit too emotional. With Mercury, this can impact your patience, your desire to study, or desire to travel. Just be careful. When you desire to do all this, be patient, be very intuitive, be very diplomatic, prepare very well everything. If you desire to travel, do good preparation, and when your intuition is saying no, rather postpone. Financial wise, the week is not perfect for you. You may need to invest additional efforts. Your money especially can be a little bit afflicted by the eclipse. So the luck in terms of making money, it could be that you make money, but with efforts, with additional planning, time orientation, discipline. Oh, this would be needed for a while. Relationship-wise, the week looks fine to me, but still be responsible for your health and be patient. Actually, patience is what you may need. Concentrate on spiritual work, on studies, but not really sharing knowledge, because there is where you may be misunderstood or lose patience because of this complex configuration on the sky. And now we have Sagittarius. Once again, also this eclipse is eclipsing your ascendant. Well, this is, you're used to this already. It's happening since last year. The eclipses are causing certain delays in the things that you're doing, health disharmonies, delays or issues related to private life, to your partnerships, romantic life. And when you know this, you know knowledge is power. Be patient, be diplomatic, be very intuitive, be loving to your partner, and all this will pass. Now, career-wise, this also can be a little bit challenging. Actually, Saturn on the ascendant, eclipse on the ascendant, it is a period of, like you've been experiencing for quite some time. You have experience with this already. It's a bit delayed. You can feel certain limitations in many spheres of your life. Depends, of course, on your natal chart. So when you're very intuitive, when you're very patient, when you understand that it is a period that will pass, you also go through this period very with wisdom and with patience, and just maintain good health, be very spiritual, very intuitive, and all this will pass. But it is possible that you have limitations and some blockages in relation to Saturn on the ascendant and the eclipse on the ascendant, all this. But with spiritual attitude, powerful intuition, you can reverse the influences of the eclipse on your ascendant. This I'm sure about. Now, Capricorn, you may need to be a bit responsible for your health. Money-wise, the week does not look bad to me at all. Career-wise, like subordinates, hidden enemies are possible to arise. In terms of your relationship, it's good to be patient and not very impulsive there. But for the rest, financially, work-wise, the week is okay, apart from the fact that you may have some challenges with subordinates. You may have support from superiors and issues with subordinates, like the routine environment may suffer a bit. Health is where your attention should go to. And health-wise, you need to be patient. You need to be very responsible and maintaining really healthy lifestyle. And when you know, when you feel a little bit melancholic, really address the natures, go between the trees in the forest, welcome the sun, and you will feel wonderful. Aquarius ascendant. Aquarius. For you, you may have issues in relation to your social circle. There you may have some challenges, disappointments. Career-wise, the week looks fine. You may need to give attention to children, like be very attentive, be very careful, like double than usual. Subordinates, again, also your routine environment at work can be a little bit hostile, or you may feel disappointed by some of your colleagues, for example. Health-wise, it's also good that you be responsible for your health, take good care of your health. Travel, you may negotiate, I would say, rather not. Even if you travel, do this also very cautiously. But the most important thing is to be very attentive towards children and to be patient with them. Career-wise, the week does not look bad to me, but more, the challenges may come more from the subordinates. And health-wise, be responsible for your health. Pisces ascendant. I see the week as a little bit challenging when it comes to career, superiors. This may result in some tension at home. With children, yes, you may feel a little bit impulsive, and you may lose patience when it comes to children. Be attentive towards your children. Also with your partner, with your romantic partner at home. You may travel, negotiate, you better wait for better times. Health-wise, be responsible and be very, very intuitive when it comes to talking or negotiating or discussing things at work with superiors. There you may need to be very diplomatic and patient and intuitive. Responsible be for your health. You may travel, be attentive with your children, and the week will pass. Okay, you may desire to study some occultistic, creative studies, and this is wonderful. And also be loving with your partner. So there you may also be a bit too impulsive. So with this, I'm completing my week for the 12 ascendants. I hope this is useful. Your comments are welcome. Thank you.